my name is Mia. I'm part of the team here at Thinc, and today we are joined with Mrs. Dina Barker from CNC Robotics. She is the co-owner and director here, and we are doing an exciting by design interview today. How are you today?
Yes, great, thanks Mia. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you so much for joining us. So today we're here to talk about your company. You're
Yes.
one of the most exciting companies of 2025 with Northwest Business Insider.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
on
you.
that. So yeah, we're just going to talk about how your company came to be in this position. So first off, what do you think makes CNC Robotics one of the UK's most exciting companies?
So at CNC Robotics, we are robotic integration specialists. We specialise in large format 3D printing with robots and machining with robots. We're redefining advanced manufacturing in the UK. And yeah, we work with some extremely exciting customers across multiple different sectors, right from space, Formula One, automotive, right down to the small businesses who are in the creative sector. So yeah, we're really at the cutting edge of robotic integration.
So what is the most exciting part of your job?
Most exciting. That every day is different. Every single customer that we work with is different. We're pretty sector agnostic. So yeah, we have customers from multiple different sectors. I'd say, some of the most exciting stuff for me that we do is in the space, sector. We've got a customer 3D printing rockets, for example. And yeah, I just think no 2 days are the same. The applications that we are kind of integrating and creating for our customers are always different.
So one of the main things that Insider was looking at when choosing the most exciting companies was productivity.
Yeah.
At CNC Robotics, how do you guys keep productive without burning out?
Yeah, I think it's definitely not about pushing harder, it's working smarter. And yeah, I think productivity for us is different. We're not a traditional manufacturing business. We don't produce the same thing day in, day out. And I think for us, what keeps us productive is the exciting challenges of the different projects that we're working on. So a lot of our team, for example, are quite multi-skilled. They're not just working day in, day out on the same thing. And I think, yeah, in terms of productivity, that's what keeps us going, that's what keeps our jobs interesting, what keeps the business alive. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, because you're in robotics, I think people will rightly, assume that you guys work with a lot of technology, so bar the robots, obviously probably include the robots as well. What is the smartest tech or systems you've made?
I think the smartest technology that we've introduced is obviously hybrid systems. So a hybrid system is where you're able to 3D print and machine with the same system. And that's transformational for some of our customers. The ability to print a near-net shape for one of their parts or molds and then minimally just machine out. And, that just absolutely transforms their production. Less wastage, less downtime, less cost. Some of our customers are working in quite traditional manufacturing facilities. Yeah, and I think robotics, automation, especially hybrid systems, are transformational for those businesses. They're able to upskill the workforce that they've already got. And yeah, I think robotics and automation in the UK still is massively underutilised. And I think, yeah, we really need to be, in order for the UK to become more productive, we need to be looking at these areas more.
Exactly, that's exactly what we were talking about. So people have this fear of machines and technology replacing people in their life. As we were saying, technology is supposed to empower the workers and to make their jobs easier, allowing them to focus on more valuable tasks as opposed to manual tasks.
Absolutely.
So I completely agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree with that. When trying to stay productive, is there something you deliberately don't do? There's something you avoid in order to stay productive?
Yeah, in order to stay productive, obviously we've had to streamline what we do, because robotics and automation is such a varied and vast field, if you like. But yeah, we've really honed in on our core capabilities, which is machining and 3D printing with robots. And that allows us to kind of really, just capitalise on the skill base that we've got, the team that we've got, and just really work towards our just stay within the niche that we're in.
Absolutely. I think with something like technology, specifically robots, there's a lot of hype around like what they can do and robots and what is a robot doing. So you're right, it's very important to stay focused on what you're trying to achieve and what the customer needs. And I think also explain what the robots do and like what you're trying to achieve. Because it can get quite, do you see what I'm saying? Let me explain.
No, I think from our customers' perspective, sometimes this is their first kind of journey into automation. You know, manufacturers in the UK still are very, as we discussed, labour-based. And I think, robotics is still seen as a pretty kind of scary field to kind of dip your toe into. And there is that perception that robots, take jobs. However, as we've discussed, robots actually enable you to become more efficient, less wastage, less downtime, and then really use the key skills and the highly skilled staff that you've already got and deploy them elsewhere within the business.
And that's important when, I guess, choosing who to work with when you start.
Absolutely.
We also talk about this. There are people that are very technology focused. And explaining and delivering a project in a way that the customer will not only be happy with upon delivery, but also be able to use afterwards. Is very, very important.
I think choosing the right integration partner is massively important. We work so collaboratively with our customers at every stage of the project. And then particularly after the project delivery, we are basically part of their team. And we will train the customer right up until, the end. We offer full service and support afterwards. We're always on the phone to our customers. Any question that they've got, we absolutely become part of that kind of team within their business. And that's something that's really important to us, is the aftercare. It's not just delivering a system, dropping it off and then leaving. The aftercare is massively important to us.
That's something we see again and again, where someone has, so with very different types of technology, someone has implemented an ERP and has just said, "Go, we're out."
Absolutely.
And the customer sat there, well, this is completely wrong. I think it's making sense, and they have absolutely no idea what to do. So the customer relationship, the aftercare, the training, and consistent communication.
Absolutely.
In a field like this specifically, it's something so new. I came in here, I was completely wow. So I would have no idea.
And it's a big learning curve. For a customer who's gone from a labour intensive process to then an automated process. That learning journey, that culture change is massive, and we work with our customers hand in hand to ensure that that's a smooth transition for us.
It's a long question. So, okay, cool. What's one thing about staying productive that you think all SME leaders should know? I think, for me personally, I think it's the importance of having a network. As a small business owner, sometimes, you're in the day-to-day. It's very difficult to, you can be quite isolated. I think the importance of having a network is learning from those other leaders around you, particularly if there's a new process that you want to embed into your business. So rather than waste money on trial and error, if you've got that network around you, you can lean on that support from them, you can speak to them. If they've been on that journey themselves, you can absolutely just, rather than make costly mistakes, lean on your network to kind of talk to you about it. Your network can also expand through your partners, I've realised. So the amount that I learn from our clients, just about different business processes or different industries. I never thought I would speak to so many people about their business processes. It's not only about obviously customers, but it's also about learning from your customers and understanding their business process, which then for you can be applicable somewhere else. I came across this with a private customer. And finally, if you could automate or fix one part of your operations overnight, what would it be?
So right now we're actually working on it. So for us, it's a customer portal. Just to, as we talked about before, for us, that customer communication, that customer collaboration is really important to us. We can't deliver a project unless that communication is open. So for us, it's going to be a customer portal. We're going to be able to share, the customer imagery or photos or videos, and then really be able to communicate with them better, we think, through a system.
Yeah, that's absolutely what
Yeah.
I feel like one source of the truth almost.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's a fun one I like to end with. So like, did you guys do anything to celebrate getting sort of the most exciting companies?
Well, Jess and I went out for dinner last night, so we did have a nice glass of wine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also our 17th wedding anniversary.
Oh,
so yeah,
really?
it's quite nice. All rolled into one.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for having
No,
us.
thank you.
It was wonderful speaking to you.
You too.
It's been Mia and Mr. Barker at CNC Robotics.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.